Alright, good morning YouTube, fellow 3D printers. This is Michael here at 3D Print Everything, and this morning on our trying to do daily videos here, we have a kitty cat. Yeah, what's up, kitty? This one actually doesn't have a name. We're trying to adopt him out, so if you want a kitty, beautiful black kitty, super sweet, super loving, please adopt this kitty. Anyways, as I take a drink of my coffee there, today we're going to talk about this Anycubic and this Flashforge. So we're going to kind of compare them. These are actually two customers' printers, so they brought them here to get repaired. I kind of didn't put this on right. This should be sitting like, I don't know, it's like right up in there. It's a very similar design to where it just kind of slides in there. I both have them just kind of setting up there. But if you're in the market for a enclosed small printer, then one of these two might be on your watch list. So if you want to see someone kind of do a little bit more in-depth comparison between the two, that's kind of what I am going to do here. Do I know anything about these printers? No. Have I printed on them? No. Are we going to print on them on this video? No. I'm just going to look at the machine specs of what we see. Both of these currently are broken, and I will be fixing them. So we're going to see what's broken with them. We're going to investigate what kind of fails, what it takes to repair one. So this will be more on maybe potential maintenance and just kind of looking at it from an outside design perspective. And maybe if we, if I get these both fixed up and they're both still here, I'll try to do some test prints before the customers pick them up so that we can actually do that. But in this video, to the end of it, we won't be doing that. So first, let's look at this Anycubic. So obviously enclosed, has a nice little top there so you can view the inside, but there's no other labeling. I guess that's where your little port is. Yeah, zero labeling anywhere on the very back, because I wasn't even sure what model this was. I forgot what the lady said to me on this. Stretching the power cord back there. Okay, on the very back I was able to find this, and on that top bar there you can see it, 4 Max Pro 2.0. So 4 Max Pro 2.0, that's what this is. And this one over here is our Creator Max 2. So I would say, I don't know which way I'm holding my camera. I would say a lot of these names start bleeding together in the end. But let's look at the rail system. Take another sip of coffee and see what we got here. So this one's running a dual bar with another bar there, single bar. So it's all rod. It's a rod-based printer, which is fine. I don't have anything opposed to rod-based printers. They seem to be good. You have an adjustable Z-stomp, so this is always nice. A lot of printers only come with a standard Z-switch, so having one that is adjustable is nice. Although I don't know if I like that. They put it on a wing nut, so that means you have to loosen the wing nut, adjust that, and then tighten the wing nut. Probably be better with just a spring. But okay, we got a ribbon cable that powers the entire hot end, so that's kind of neat. This does surprise me a little bit that you can use a ribbon cable like this for your whole hot end. I mean, that just really goes to show you how thin of a connection you need for your hot end. So it does end up having some rounder wires in there, but the ribbons are in between. Let's see, what's our... Yeah, so it's kind of standard stop. Yeah, see, we've got standard switch stops. Looks like they removed the arm, or they bind ones without arms. Just kind of looking at stuff here, trying to see what I see. So I do find it kind of cool when companies do stuff like this. This is generally putting glue just to kind of help keep those connections on there so you don't lose them. I mean, not gonna lie, this looks complicated. Like, it's nice and it's clean and simple looking, but if we're gonna take this apart, if I was gonna like replace this bearing or replace that bearing, you know, if that bearing goes bad, how hard is that gonna be to get out? I mean, we've got to really get in there. We'll probably have to take this entire case off if you ever have to replace one of those bearings. It's not gonna be a common thing, but it will. This looks like, I'm gonna guess, either a BMG. Yeah, it's definitely a BMG extruder. That's the BMG style. So it's a dual gear BMG extruder. We might take this off here and I'll see that, but I'm coming up to my 5-minute limit, so I'm gonna splice the video together here, guys. But I'm gonna do a little bit and then I'll start the video again. Okay, so we're about 1 minute past where I paused it there. Went ahead and took this case off. It was 2 bolts in the back, and you can get to this. So this is, you can see where our ribbon cable goes. Here is our oh wow. So they, oh no, okay, so there's the BMG extruder here, and then they have, looks to be a metal case here. Yeah, so it's a clear BMG extruder with, again, a whole lot of stuff. If you were gonna unjam the center of this, we've got a whole lot to take off. Luckily, I believe what the problem just was either a jam or this filament broke, so I'm not exactly sure. I do get a fair amount of repairs here, so sometimes I have to kind of, when they come in, I don't check them for a day or two, and then we'll look at them and have to remind myself on what the client said was wrong with it. But clearly we have just some broken filament. The filament was hanging right here. Somebody had already taken this off. I think she said that this fell out. I think that's what she said. I'm not sure. Either way, we can see it wasn't level. So they marred up their bed pretty good there. But it should be okay. I think all I'm gonna do, so our temps are reading right, so let's just try, no, yeah, preheating, PLA, so that's gonna preheat. We'll leave it on the preheat so I can see what temp it is. And Kitty, this kitty over here is messing with my toes. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm messing with my own toes. Little turkeys. And I got these 2 over here. These are up for adoption as well. This one's named Squealers, and this one's Tuxedo, because he's got a little white patch, not on his belly, but on his neck. Look, see, I'm trying to show you. Ah, yeah. See, there's his little, what you call it? I don't know. We call him Tuxedo. Maybe it makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, let's end the video about the cat. Anyways, that's heating up. Okay, other big differences. Let's just go between the 2 printers. Clearly, the biggest difference I'm seeing so far is the bed size. So this has a proper bed size. That looks to be, what, a 300 maybe, or a 250? I might grab my calipers just to measure it. I'm looking around for my calipers. Let's see if we can find those real quick, because I want to measure this. Charging my phone. Kitty, I don't have much battery. And we're back. Okay, where did my calipers go? My office is too much of a mess. Okay, that's as far as I'm going to look for the calipers, because I don't need to sit there, wait for me. I'll just catch it on the next break of video. But, yeah, so a much bigger bed. I'm thinking that's around a 250, maybe 300. It obviously isn't 300 tall, I don't think. So it might only be like a 300 by 200. I don't know, we'll check that out. But the build space is clearly much bigger. Probably double the size of this Flashforge. Now, one of the things that the Flashforge has over this Anycubic, at least, is this one's a dual head printer. So it's going to print from this one, it's going to print from that one. So that's kind of neat, having a dual head, but one way or the other. Let's take a sip real quick. Kitties, chill out. Alright, so we got our temp up to temp. Let's see if I can set this right here and do this within the view of the camera. This is tricky. Okay, so I was able to pull out. I got a nice little nub there. Let's see if I can just take the other end and shove it back in and stick it through the nozzle. Oh. Okay, so we're gonna have to hold that nozzle. I have to pause it here. I'm gonna grab some tools. We'll find our calipers, and I'll be right back. Okay, got the calipers, and when we measured this, it is 240. So it's right 250, I think. Let's see, right there. Yeah, 244 is what I just saw before my damn thing zeroes out. I need to get a new set of these. But yeah, so 240 on that one, and our Flashforge over here came out to be 150 by 230. So interesting. Obviously a bigger bed here, single nozzle, etc., etc. So one of the things we're going to do, I'm going to take my welding pliers. These are one of the best tools for a 3D printer you can get, in my opinion. Alright, sorry for the angle. Just how I gotta do it. Alright, so we're gonna grab this. Now the goal of this is to see if the nozzle even needs to be changed. Because right now, from what I'm seeing, the nozzle is probably clogged, and we want to change that. But you know what'll help here? Let me move the axis. We're gonna move the Z down. Whoa. Okay, so that goes down pretty far. Probably 250 down, I would imagine. Okay, let's grab that. It's important that we get that PFT tube in there, because if I just shove this plastic in there without this PFT tube, it's gonna melt in the throat somewhere. So let's see, it's kind of feels like it's melting, but it's not coming out the end. So yeah, we're gonna pull that back out. I'm gonna change the nozzle, and let's see if that does anything. So I'm gonna pause it here, and then we'll change. Okay, so I went and grabbed this tool. This is a tool that came with a printer. Really, really nice. You'll want to grab that. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to come up here and grab our heat break. And whenever you're changing a nozzle out, you always want the nozzle to be heated up. So that's part of the reason why I'm leaving it all connected and hot, and why I really don't want to touch this. Man, I'm really trying to find a good spot for my camera. I'm sorry, guys. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's see. Break it loose. Generally, you can break it loose and then use the other end to get it out. This one's staying pretty dang tight. Okay, nozzle off. Now, the next thing to do, once you do this, is aside from just immediately slapping another nozzle in there, you're gonna want to check and clear the throat. Now, the way to do that is you just grab a hold of this, and you can use a piece of filament, you can use an unjamming tool, just something. You can actually see the hole here. There we go. Yeah, see, there's something jammed up in here. So, let me take a closer look. Yeah, so we've got plastic jammed up in there. So that's not going to work. So we need, as of right now, we're going to need a new throat. But I'm going to see if I can unjam this, maybe. It is a maybe. It doesn't feel like this thing's hot anymore. Yeah, it started cooling down. Let me see. So I'm going to try heating this up to ABS temps, and we'll see if it can get there. If it can get to ABS temps, then we might have a chance of being able to melt this plastic out. But that is jammed right up above the nozzle in the throat area. Yeah, that looks like a really good jam. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that out. We're most likely gonna have to replace this throat here with a new one, and that'll probably be an Anycubic specific throat. It looks like I haven't run across this throat before. I've probably got 8 or 9 different throats, but that is one thing that a lot of companies on these 3D printers have changed. So you know, some of the things that are always the same. You know, these wires are on just about everything. This sensor is on just about everything. These wires are on just about everything. Same with these. I've seen a handful of different ones of these. These aren't interchangeable between printers, but some of the nicer printers generally have some type of breakout board like this, where they use a ribbon cable. So that's nice. But yeah, this throat I have not specifically used on any other hot end. Now the heating element, the heat block, the sensor, the nozzle, all those are the same. All those will interchange, but the thing not. So now, what's kind of alarming me here is it doesn't seem this temperature's changing. So I don't know if this is actually getting any hotter, or if it's commanding it to get hotter. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is as hot as it'll go with me doing this. But it just didn't feel like that was. Yeah, none of this plastic is hard. It feels like it's not hot at all. I'm tempted to even touch this, but I really don't want to. I don't know. Let's try turning it off and back on. Let's see if that makes any difference. Sometimes when you get temperature misreadings and stuff like that, you could have touched something, you could have done something like that. So we're firing it back up. It's got kind of... Okay, so I just fired it back up, and yes, the temp was not in fact raised at all. So let's raise the temp, see if we can clear this out. It was saying it was 280 or 180 or something like that, but it actually was just cold. So I'm gonna sit here and let this warm up. My cat messes with my parts over here. Tuxedo, you laying in my parts? He's like, yeah. Oh, you're not even gonna look at me, huh? Little gaze. Yeah, we're staying busy with these parts. If you've been watching any of the other daily videos, you'll see we got the belt printer knocking prints off layer after layer. We got, oh look, all those guys just paused. They're ready to get swapped. Got a box here. I've started parts. I got a box over there that I'm collecting, so it's a bit messy. I swear, I get this place cleaned up and it lasts for a few hours, and then it starts getting messy again. But all the printers are working at the moment. I've got as many of them. That guy's not working in the back, but it's a really old printer. I bought that one for $100 for this badass cool frame. But it's noisy, it's inaccurate, it's really hard to get anything to stick to that bed. It really needs a whole new motherboard swap and like a better bed surface, and then it would be great. But till then, okay, so that should be hot enough. Let's see if we can get this out. I'm gonna think we can. Okay, so I can see the plastic is melting on the inside. There we go. Alright, so look. So we punched through, and I think it actually fell out. I don't know. Where'd it go? There's a little bit of plastic in there, wasn't there? I mean, I saw just a teeny bits of plastic. Can't really see with the camera. Not trying to like just twist this around and break it. Okay, so all that plastic very foolishly got stuck into the threads. So we want to try to clean some of that out. It's not too bad getting the plastic in the threads because it kind of acts like a Loctite when you put a new nozzle in here and a new throat. All that plastic just gets squished in between the threads, and sometimes it'll come out, sometimes it won't. Yeah, most of the times it's just going to stick in between your throat and your nozzle and cause problems. So you don't want that. But I just about got this cleared out enough that I think I can put this in here without any issues. Let's see. One more time. Okay, just about got it. There's still like one more piece I want to get. I can get this like really clean. So this is a pretty good recovery, honestly. I would say for a good second there, I was thinking we were going to have to replace the whole throat there. But it looks like the throat's good to go. You can see a little smoke coming off, burning some of that PLA out. But we're going to put a new nozzle in it now. And then I'll see if I can get it reassembled and see if we can get this thing to print. Okay, we're back and got the new nozzle put on. So I thought I'd just show you this extruder a little bit more. So this one's actually your part cooling fan. And then this one is your hot end fan, obviously, because the hot end fan's running. So this comes down into there and then cools the heat break right up above the deal there. And how this gets held in place is a little screw right there. So if your nozzle ever falls out, that screw's probably what is loose. So I believe this is the only thing that really screwed this printer up is that this got loose, nozzle fell out, semi-jammed in there. They just needed it to get fixed. Probably had some old filament that just broke on them. Yeah, that's really common. So luckily we got this one fixed. It was an easy fix. They'll be able to get their printer back really quick. So I'll fire this thing up, do a test print or two, and see how it comes out. So neato. Let's take a closer look at the Flashforge here. Now that we've really gone through the Anycubic. So Flashforge, let's see. So they have a very similar type of rail system. You see they got a rail in the back, rail over here, or rod. It's a rod system. It's a dual rod system. Obviously this is going to weigh a little bit more since it's got two printers on it, but it looks like they're using similar sized motors to move everything. So it's it's going to be a nice sturdy plate. Plate's pretty sturdy. So this is the extruder. It's laying on its side right now. There is 4 bolts underneath there. Those 4 bolts that bolt it to the extruder carriage right here. So we can see that on this side is where it's grabbing for this one, and these move freely, and then it's the opposite on this one, the one's on the back. So this is nozzle 1, nozzle 2. You do like, I think it's 2 here, and then that comes out, and you can kind of see its little breakout board. It's got a nice little mini board, pretty nice. They're not using ribbon cables, but the issue with this one is we've got a jam in there, the tube's jammed, and if you look at our hot end wires here, this hot end wire, you might have caught that, is broken, and the hot end sensor, I have laying just right here. Wait 2 secs. Where did I just see that? I just had that wire sitting on it. There it is. So here is our sensor wire. So our sensor wire is a plug, and then it's a screw-in type. So you have to replace it with this. You know, I could cut and splice this, but I would have to have this special type of screw-in type. And then even then, where it broke in this heat block, I'm not going to be able to get that out. So, and I'm not even sure how to get their heat sensor out, their heating element. So the answer here is a whole new heat block, heating element, heat sensor, and throw. And they sell that for this printer fully assembled for, I think it's like $80, plus tax and shipping. So we got that bought. It's on its way to us, and we will change the whole hot end out there. One interesting thing I'm noticing about this one is they have these little metal pieces here. I'm guessing this is home. So it has a home sensor here, but I don't know what this is. I've seen other printers do this where they run current through the nozzle, and they use that to kind of touch what was that? The Tazbot or Lulzbot Taz 6 had 4 metal pieces at the edge of the printer, and that's how it knew if it was level, is if it passed the right amount of current, if it did whatever. So that's interesting. The printer otherwise, you know, comparing the two, if I was going to recommend one just from looking at these, I don't know if I can give my opinion on that yet. I'll probably have to get both of these moving. You know, if you really were dead set on needing dual nozzles, obviously dual nozzles is here. If you needed more space, that's the one with more space. I might possibly lean to that. I don't know. They both have their ups and downs. You know, it's like if every printer out there could standardize and make like the same thing, you know, the same hot end wire, we'd be able to sit there and have replacement parts for all printers. And you know, and like these hot end wires feel a little bit more beefy than some of the other ones I've felt before. So I think it's either a thicker wire or a higher quality wire. So you know, something like that's nice. The exclusiveness of the extruder kind of sucks. You know, $80 for a whole hot end. You can get full hot ends for $20. So to have to spend 3-4 times as much is a little lame there. The build size is a little lame here. Look at this one again. You know, screen interface is nice. You know, I kind of dig how they did this. It's not too bad, but at the same time, it's just not tight and easy assembly. Yeah, you know, because if you get a jam in the center here, that's just gonna blow. So from my personal opinion, I probably wouldn't recommend either one of these as like a first printer. If you knew you were gonna do high temp stuff, if you knew I'm printing a bunch of small ABS parts, I'm printing a bunch of small PETG parts, I want to do polycarbonate, you know, yeah, you could use an enclosed printer. But just as well, you could take any of these printers that are open and just put a box over top of them. You know, they make little small grow, what do you call them? The little, not grow cabinets, but the little pop-up tent things that are just a little bit bigger than a printer, and you do a zipper. You know, get one of those. You don't need, I don't think you need a pre-built plastic injection molded case. So that's just my opinion. But these are two good printers. And a sleeping kitty. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, got that one repaired in this video. Really easy. Hopefully you might have learned something if you got one of these. If you're looking at these two printers, they're both decent printers. I don't know the price point of them right now. I'd imagine they're within $200 to $300 of each other, due to their size and everything else. But good stuff, guys. Thanks for being here with me. I appreciate it a lot. Let me know what you think of these, and stay on the lookout for another video on me having these two printing and seeing the print quality. Maybe then I'll have a better, what do you call it, a better opinion on which one might be better. Oh no, look. What a mess. Alright, I gotta go stop that. So have fun, guys. Thank you very much.